Hi and welcome to a new edition of the BSSS e-content video. I am Piyush Pradhan and I belong to the Department of English. Today we have got a very simple topic to discuss about. I have brought for you use of tenses. What is a tense? Now, let me first of all talk about the non-completeness and completeness of a tense. Most of us in the non-native speakers believe that time is tense, but in fact time itself is not tense. We have to understand that tense is a very crucial part of grammar, and under which we find that when a subject performs an action, that subject does an action in a given time period, no doubt. But don't forget that that action done or performed by a subject should always draw out a result at the same time. So that means without a result, only time can never complete the tense. I hope you have understood the actual definition of the use of a tense form in grammar. Now, as you can see now, there are in total 12 different forms, and these 12 different forms are used both for general and academic level purposes. Sometimes the use of tense becomes a bit advanced, so the students have to be extra careful of the use of tense form for advanced writing purposes. Now, on the second slide before you, we are going to discuss about the categories in which a tense form is taken. There are basically three categories of tenses. They are the past tense, the present tense, and the past participle or the future tense. These are the three core categories of tenses, and we are supposed to learn according to the different usages of the forms with these three tense forms. First of all, we are going to talk about the present tense, and under which we are going to talk about SPT. The full form of SPT is simple present tense. The formula for simple present tense is subject plus first form of verb plus S or ES attached with the word. But today, our story of the tense form does not over only by simply talking about the formula. I'm going to teach you the technique how to actually use these tense forms by taking one situation and changing it into 7 to 9 different types. Let us just begin. What is the function of simple present tense? Well, it is used for facts. It is also used to display generalizations of the things around us. And at the same time, it also speaks about the truth. And this is not affected over by the passage of the time. I hope you have understood the functionality of the use of simple present tense. Please look at this first example on your screen. She eats food with her friends as her regular habit at the terrace of her house. I have highlighted the word eats. This talks about the action done. Now, in the same way, we can even speak it as she eats food as a regular habit at the terrace of her house with her friends. Concentrate on the section of with her friends. If I'm going to place these three words in the middle of the sentence, it's not going to make any difference. So either we can put it like that as we have taken in the first statement, or we can attach it in the end of the statement. Either of the situation is acceptable. Let us now begin. As I told you that with a single sentence, more than 7 to 9 statements can be made. First of all, we are going to begin our statement with the use of question form. Look at this statement of the question. Does she eat food with her friends as a regular habit at the terrace of her house? The positive answer is, well, we can give a very miniature version of the answer. So it will be the three-word answer. Yes, she does. Or we can speak out the lengthy statement. Yes, comma, she does eat food with her friends. What should be the negative answer? No, she does not. Or, no, she does not eat food with her friends at the terrace of her house. Now, to further make you understand the version of the statement, I'm going to teach you a very different aspect of this statement. Now I'm going to talk about the comparative use of the answer. Until we use the comparative version, we cannot speak about the 7 and 9 statements. So this should be the first priority to learn it. Let us just begin by attaching either the single word but first, or we can take the word rather. For example, yes, she does eat food, but in the kitchen and not on the terrace as a regular habit. Now, what I have tried to do over here is that when I'm trying to give a sort of an eyewitness account, I have to find the things around me with which I can compare one thing with another. So over here, I'm trying to compare terrace with kitchen. So I need you to focus these two words immediately after the connector but. Let me repeat that positive answer. Yes, she does eat food, but in the kitchen and not on the terrace as a regular habit. Let us just further speak about the same statement. Yes, she does rather eat food in the kitchen and not on the terrace. Now I have changed the connector but to rather. Or you can even say, yes, she does eat food rather in the kitchen. And the last version of the same positive statement can be with the word only. Focus on the word only in the bracket in the end. How does the statements complete? Yes, she does eat food, but in the kitchen only. Now we will push along to the negative version of the same statement. No, she does not eat food on the terrace, but in the kitchen as a regular habit with her friends. Or the second version of the negative statement is, no, comma, she rather doesn't, or no, she rather does not eat food on the terrace of a house. Now this time, please focus that in order to complete this statement, I have actually bisected the statement by attaching a full stop in between. So, after the full stop, the sentence completes as, she eats it in the kitchen. I hope so far you have understood the multiple ways of speaking the positive statements as well as the negative statements. Now, how the same statement can be changed or transformed in a very different statement. This time, transformation is going to make the situation a bit complex. How is it done? Please look at the screen. The transformatory sentence now is, no, she rather does not eat food on the terrace only. Sometimes she does in the kitchen as well. So the focus word in this transformatory statement are two. The first is sometimes, and in the end, as well. This has changed the simple situation to be transformed into complex statement. In non-native countries around the world, there are so many times that people come across with a situation where they are never being taught by their school or college teachers how to frame a negative question. They are not so much being trained with the use of the negative question. But today we are going to learn negative question. and how there is a major differentiation of giving the answer to this negative question. Let us just begin now. The situation is the same. The negative question is, does she not eat food with her friend as a regular habit at the terrace of her house? Concentrate on those 3 to 4 words of the beginning. Does she not eat food? So in the starting itself, we have attached the word not. This implies that the question is purely framed in negative question. Can my audience guess the answers for it? Well, don't forget that whenever we take the answer for these negative questions, there will be a major change. Even if I say positive answer, it's not going to begin with yes. Rather, it is going to begin with no. So what will be the positive answer? No, comma, she does eat food with her friends. I want my audience to be extra careful and pay attention on the immediate comma we have placed after the word no. If you forget to place this comma, then the entire answer will not match with the question. So don't forget to attach the comma. Comma is essential, is extremely compulsory. What should be the negative answer? Yes, she does not eat food with her friends. So I hope now you have also learned that when we have transformed a single situation into 7 and 9 types, there were different variations, versions or varieties. And negative question statement is one of that variety or version that I hope my audiences have truly liked about. There are other ways of replying to the same statement. I hope my audience are going to like it. Just as you have right now fancied these 7-9 statements, I hope you're going to like these statements as well. These are some of the statements which you can see on your screen. For example, yes, she might does. Or you can say, perhaps she does eat food. If you're going to give a statement in a form of a dialogue, well, we also have got the facility to convert it in a dialogue form. And how it is done? Yes, she eats food, perhaps in the terrace, as what I've witnessed once or twice. That's a kind of extra information that we have attached to the same situation. Now, you will also see that based on these different replies to the same statement, one should not forget that these statements should be spoken with facial expressions. Facial expressions are very crucial in most of the cases because in various situations there are different kinds of tenses and time durations. And if a subject does not speak out any statement with a facial expression, then I think it is unacceptable. So don't forget to use a facial expression somewhere. There are some other ways to reply to the same statements. Previously, we have talked about the positive aspect. We can even speak about the negative aspect. For example, no, I'm afraid she doesn't. Or you can say, no, I don't think so. She does it ever. Or you can even say, no, I am not sure. Rather, she does it actually. Full stop. It would be so stupid of hers. So in different situations, we are trying to mold our current or existing statement, and we are using it according to our own proper use and convenience. I have brought some couple of more statements for your ready reference. I'll be happy if you work on these statements at home, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions about any aspect of tense forms. Now look at these multiple statements which I have differently patterned, and this will immediately help you to understand this particular section. For example, the first statement before us, the cobbler polishes the shoes of the customers who visit his shop each day. Look at the concentrating word polishes. I've underlined this word so that you can clearly understand what I exactly mean by underlining that area. The second statement, the mother asks the question to servant why the baby has not taken dinner. And the last statement, with double inverted commas, as you can see, she writes a lot of papers for her classes. So these are some of the exercise statements which I've shared with you, and I want each one of you to at least work on that. Now, in this fourth slide of our video, we are going to discuss about the second form of present tense, which is present continuous or progressive tense. This present continuous is also called as progressive because the gerund ing is attached in this statement. So the formula for this particular progressive tense will be subject plus is, are or am plus first form of verb plus ing. Ing or gerund, whatever you can say. It's a simple formula. Again, we have got different ways of expressing an action when some action is done in this progressive form. The first statement is, the carpenter is carving a beautiful design on the wooden sofa set. With is, we have attached ing with the verb. The second statement, schools of fishes are traveling for many miles in search of food in sea. And the last statement of this form, the woman is marrying someone whom she doesn't like at all. I hope you have liked this form of the present tense. Let's move on to present perfect tense. The formula is subject plus has or have plus third form of verb. What does this particular form does for us? Well, it expresses an action that has just been over. The example is, I have known my friend for few years. With have, I have taken the third form, know, knew, known. So we have to take the third form with have. In the same way, in the second statement, we are going to take the third form. The fish seller has just sold her fishes on beach of Goa to foreigner. Concentrate on that section, has just sold. Hope you are understanding the present perfect tense with the help of this formula. And lastly, I've already got the petrol for my bike from the petrol station. So have already got. Look, concentrate on this section and you will understand the completeness of this particular formula. Let us begin with the third form of it. And the full form of this form is PPCT, present perfect continuous tense. The action is not only perfect, but it is also shown continuous. So the formula for this form is subject plus has been or have been attached plus verb plus ing plus, if you have to talk about any situation in a form of a time duration, so you can attach some time words like for or since. What is the duty of a PPCT? Well, it expresses the action that has just started sometime in the past and is continued till present. This is the actual translation of this. Let us just understand with an example. The mother has been preparing dinner in the kitchen for the family since 30 minutes. Please note that in this question, you have to actually frame the statement as, what has been the mother doing? Or, what has the mother been preparing? What difference do you find? You see, what of the statement is correct? Well, the statement which I have just spoken in the beginning was correct. But the statement which I spoken after that, it was absolutely wrong. That should not be spoken. Next, The people have been protesting against government's policy for the last 5 days. And the last situation, my sister has been suffering from fever since Wednesday last. Please concentrate that with since we cannot attach or take last. The word last can only be attached with for or with from, but not with since. Please note that in this form of the tense, we use since to indicate point of time and for to indicate period of time. So point of time and period of time sometimes make a world of difference to understand a particular situation. These are some of these situations which we can understand through these example lists. For example, since morning, since last night, since Tuesday last, since February last, since 1978, so on and so forth. We now conclude with our first module of the use of tense form. In the second module, we are going to begin with the remaining forms of the tenses. I will begin with the use of past tense plus other miscellaneous things of the tenses we are going to learn through that module. Thank you so much.